for it, man. I'm fucking dying. Hopefully they talk about some good shit today. What's up, Josh? Let's hope they talk about some more update 1.8 stuff. Maybe some PTS. We'll see. I don't even know who's doing the state of the game today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Game for which date is it? It's the 7th of September, 2017. A lot of people are probably going, who's that guy? I'm not Hamish, I'm not Yannick. Hamish and Yannick are out of the country. So I'm Petter. I actually have one of these. That's me. And I'm usually right here, actually. Behind the scenes, this is where we take care of the camera and stuff. So that's where I am right now as well. But I'm not 100% alone. I actually have these wonderful gentlemen with me. I'm just going to let you say hello real quick.
Hi, guys. Hey.
Hey, look at that.
How are you?
I'm going to mute you again. So they're muted again. Before we start talking to them about, well, we're going to talk a bit about update 1.8. We're going to talk a bit about, well, we're going to talk about Skirmish, but we're also going to talk about one thing that we haven't touched on yet. So you'll get some new news today. But first of all, let's just go through things happening on the live game. There was a maintenance this morning. It took care of some of the usual backend stuff that we do on Thursdays. And as some people pointed out, no, the RPM glitch has not been fixed yet, sadly. Sadly, it turns out that it needs a client-side fix, which we'll be deploying as soon as possible. Some people might know that getting a patch out on, say, like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One can be a bit tricky, but we're going to push the PC patch as soon as we possibly can, and then push out consoles as quick as we can. But do remember, though, that using the RPM glitch is a bannable offense. Bandwave has already gone out. We banned quite a lot of people. I'm not going to give you exact numbers right now. We might get back to that. And we're probably going to do at least one more, probably more, if you guys don't behave. So don't use the RPM glitch.
Just
leave it alone,
I don't even know how to do the,
and you won't get
RPM
banned.
glitch.
That's as simple. It's just that simple. I don't have any updates on the update 1.8 PTS, sadly, and not on the next global event. I know some people are really, really waiting for that.
Yeah, I need that next
but we'll have news about that very soon.
Striker.
As soon as we possibly can, we're gonna talk to you about those things. But let's jump from all of this back to update 1.8, and let's talk to Terry and Keith, all the way from Redstorm. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hey, again.
How's everybody doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, Petter. I'm glad that you're here.
I'm very glad to have you guys here as well. Can you just, for the people who might have missed you before,
crazy.
Can you please just give us a quick introduction to who you are?
Keith, after you.
I'm Keith Evans. I'm a lead designer here at Redstorm on The Division.
I'm Terry Spear, the creative director here at Redstorm on The Division.
Splinter Shield in chat is asking you to put up the horns. So please, Terry.
Put up the horns.
There we go. So today we're actually going to talk about one of the features coming in update 1.8, the new PvP 4 versus 4 mode, Skirmish.
Yes.
There are the horns again.
Sorry.
Can you just give us, we briefly touched upon both Skirmish and Resistance during State of the Game last week, but can you just give like a high-level update on what Skirmish actually is?
Sure. It's 4v4 TDM, right? Here's the
TDM?
mantra. Get your PvE out of my PvP. There it is, right there. That's the tagline.
It's what people have been wanting for a while.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put on, while we're talking about this, I'm actually going to put on a video taken from Skirmish.
Hey.
And people are going to get a first look at what the game mode actually looks like. There won't be any sound, but let's have a discussion about it while that's playing.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I love that the player in
Faye is
question
Bay.
here is called Faye is Bay, which is awesome. So first of all, just to talk about what we're actually seeing, I know you guys aren't, but we have this intro screen where you see the 4
You get
people from your
KDs and shit
team.
and win-loss in this too.
That's correct. It was big important for us to really showcase our characters for the first time. Show the player your 4-man squad, and we have a lot of sexy stuff people can put on. So
Absolutely.
let's get up close and personal and let people see it, and also let people inspect.
I feel like there should have been no skills involved in this game
That's
mode.
something we're going to go on
Take
a
away
little
the
bit later,
skills.
but the best
That would've
person
been really
in
cool.
the match, you're going to be able to inspect them and see what gear they're wearing, see what weapons they have and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be actually a really good kind of teaching tool for players getting up to speed with PvP who maybe didn't jump in before.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And maybe it's a little secret. I'm going to give a secret. Ready
Go
for
for
a
it.
secret? You're going to be able to do an emote when you're on that screen. So, you can select a certain emote, put it in a slot, and you can do a little backflip, do the Macarena, whatever you want to show your teammates that you know how to do. You'll be able to do that on that screen.
That's
Well,
absolutely
whoever this
amazing.
was playing got some
Uh,
shitty
Yeah,
ass
that's a
aim. I'll
secret
tell you
though,
that.
just for State of the Game people. Don't tell anyone else.
So we were talking about Skirmish, and as I said, we're watching it on the screen right now. How big is a Skirmish arena?
So they're kind of they're new arenas, right? So they're totally kind of their own contained spaces, but I'd say they're roughly the size of some of our largest landmarks or extraction zones. So think like maybe like Bryant Park or some of the rooftop gameplay up in DZ 8 and 9. They're pretty big, but they're all about getting you
She's a
into
fucking
combat quickly,
showstopper.
right? We want to minimize run times.
Yeah.
So.
If I had another coin, if I had
I don't know how
another
it feels to
crazy
get
coin,
shit killed by a showstopper. Smash
it'd
that.
be less running, more gunning, baby.
Oh dear
That's actually
God!
we're gonna sell T-shirts with that on it. So.
Yeah.
But just
he's right. Bryant Park.
The team they're
that size,
playing is
we custom built
gonna
these
look
things.
annihilated.
They're this 4v4 size, so they're pretty optimized for that.
let's just make one thing clear: there are no, compared to Last Stand, which is these huge areas you fight in, there are no NPCs, anything like that. This is just pure team
Yeah, I
deathmatch
like
from
that.
start
No
to finish.
NPCs, nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've kind of redone the spawning system, so you come in waves with your teammates. Like if you have a team wipe, you all come in together, kind of close in proximity, and you can charge back into battle. It's probably an average of at most 10-second run times until you're back in a fight.
And that's tops, man. That's tops.
So moving on to how the scoring in Skirmish actually works, we see a counter here at the top of the screen. Currently says 5 and 3. What do those numbers mean?
The fuck do you think they
So,
mean? 5 kills and 3 kills.
We obviously have a lot of ways to revive players. So scoring actually takes effect when you send someone all the way to the death screen, right? So you down them, but you have to get up and finish them. That scores a point. So if you are playing tight with your team and you're reviving people and you're getting people back up and popping recovery link at the right moment, you can actually take points from the other team and kind of, even the odds a little bit more.
Yep. You're essentially counting.
Play this is
to-
gonna be
to
my new
top
favorite
kills.
game mode.
Right. So what's looking at ranks? Last Stand has ranks, UG has ranks, etc. How does that kind of ranking work in Skirmish?
Well, what we're doing, we're taking the Last Stand rank actually and repurposing it. So we're gonna make that the PvP rank. That might not be what we call it at the end of the day, but you can rank up this PvP rank in Last Stand or Skirmish. We know there's a lot of people already at max rank, so we have plans for rewards. But essentially, in a match of Skirmish, it's gonna function a lot like it does in Last Stand, where you're earning XP for actions that you do, and at the end of the match, that will accrue, and you'll have a total, and that will apply to the rank, and then you'll creep up and have the potential to earn Skirmish caches, and then post rank 40, right? Keith, we're raising the rank.
We're raising the rank. So, we know a lot of people are already sitting at the max rank. There will be a lot of new players jumping in who maybe haven't played Last Stand yet. So we're going to bump the rank up all the way to 99.
Holy shit,
give you this thing
99.
to keep building
Level
towards.
25.
But then taking it one step further,
I guess those of you guys that are 40 already get to go all the way to
post,
99
rank
now.
40, we'll be giving better rewards, unique rewards like classified caches.
Classified caches, everybody.
That's right.
Yeah. So again, this will give players the opportunity who don't have Last Stand to increase that rank. You can earn the vanity and items that you weren't able to earn, before, and now you can push all the way to 99 and get classified caches. The GE's over. How do I get classy caches? That's awesome. It's important to note also that Skirmish is normalized, right? Before we talk about scoring, we talk about rewards and all that stuff. This is just like Last Stand. It's a normalized play. I wanted to point that out before we got any further.
Cool.
Right.
I know we'll talk about balance later, but
Absolutely.
Yeah. Looking at kind of the end screen, I've actually seen this video before, and we're going to get to it sooner or later while this is running. There's this scoring board as well. What kind of activities do you expect people to do during a skirmish match? What kind of activities are they rewarded for?
Oh, to earn XP, you mean?
Yeah.
The similar gamut. When you down someone, when you finish them, if you assist on the kill, healing, reviving, all those things.
Yeah, it's the ones that we had in Last Stand. But one new way to score extra points is if you were the person who put someone in that down state, when they're actually finished and score a point for your team, you get an extra mark that kind of boosts your score even higher.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So how does matchmaking work in Skirmish?
You'll love it. I'm sure you'll love it.
Oh yeah. No, so it's we're kind of we're building on Last Stand. We have a matchmaking rank behind the scenes that keeps track of your overall win loss, kill death,
So
your
it has
recent
skill-based
performance, and it's trying to put you with other similarly skilled players. And then we've taken that kind of one step further, like Terry mentioned, in that pre-round screen where you see
How
the
do they
whole
put
team.
skill-based
The
matchmaking
person
in
on your
this
team
fucking
with the
game?
highest matchmaking ranking, that's the person up front.
You just play other
That's the
sweaty
person
kids
kind of
every
front
game,
and
then.
center
That takes whole
that you
point.
can inspect and kind of see what's he doing. What is his exact KD? What is his build?
Yep.
His or her build.
Right. And how long are the matches? How have you balanced kind of the length of play of a skirmish
Apologize
match?
if you guys hear me sniffling.
I think the PTS will help us really dial that in. As it stands right now, you're going to a kill count of 20.
20
or a
kills
timer of
only.
10
That's
minutes.
what?
Yeah, so they're pretty snappy matches. We want
yeah,
these
they're
to
snappy,
be kind of
20
a
kills.
fast,
This shit's
session-based
gonna last like 5
activity,
minutes.
that you just kind of jump in and play a few really intense matches.
All right, cool.
Fuck.
I think the match
should've
is
made that to at
slowly
least,
coming to a
like,
stop
40,
here on the
50,
screen, actually.
20 kills.
They're going to let it run all the
44.
way, but we're going to talk about one more thing when it comes to update 1.8
That needs to be
that
changed.
we
They should
haven't
change
talked
that
about
before
before.
1.8 comes out.
It
Put
was
at least
hinted
30.
in certain articles that you would be able to do this. Oh, here's the victory screen now. I'm teasing it a
20
little
kills?
bit
That's like
more,
not
keeping
any.
people a bit
You're
interested.
like, yeah, I got
So
10
there
kills
you
in
go.
one
There's
game.
the
Like,
end screen.
And it's not final.
Yeah,
No.
we're still iterating, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we're going to
think
talk about
50
is
should be at
actually
least. Those games are going to
what's
last like literally
called
5 minutes.
gear optimization.
Boy,
Yeah.
that's exciting. What would you like to know about gear optimization, Petter?
Well,
This
first
is
of
the
all,
thing I am pretty excited for.
what is gear optimization?
That's a great question. I guess the best way to sum it up is it's the next evolution of gear improvement. You could already recalibrate, right? And there were some limitations on recalibration that we placed on you, and then we...
Yeah, they were talking
gave
about
you
that
the
division
classes,
tech
the
or whatever, how
classified
you
gear,
can
and
use
we
like
said,
division
now
tech
you
to like
can two
recalibrate or do
steps.
something.
Now, we're giving you the next step, right, which is essentially gear optimization, which will allow players to chase the ultimate build.
Yeah, chase the perfect build.
Yeah, chase it, baby. God rolls around the corner.
So what kind
That's what it is.
What kind of items is included in this system?
So you're going to be able to optimize, all your weapons and your 6 gear slots. So your chest piece, mask, things like that.
Fuck. What do
and
you gotta
when
do to
you're-
get
when
it?
you kind of optimize it, you're really going in, and anything that's not min-maxed, you're bumping slightly higher on that stat, right? And you can kind of incrementally push.
So you gotta probably pay
towards
like a
the
shit ton of
perfect
money to probably
min-max
do
build.
that then, huh?
Right.
Credits, Dark Zone
So
credits, Phoenix credits.
why are you doing this instead of like the typical way we've done it before when it comes to increasing the power level of the players in the world? We've introduced a new world tier. Why aren't you doing that this time around?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Actually, we've had some great discussions about that with the ETF. ETF, what's up? Ultimately, we came to the fact that the conclusion that We just didn't want to reset people's progress on
I like
all
when
the
they
gear
do that.
they've
That's the
spent
whole point of the
time
fucking game.
accumulating, over the life of the summer.
That makes everyone have to go
Absolutely.
back
And
and regrind
why
everything.
not
I like
take a
having
new
to go back
approach?
and get
Why
new gear
not?
sets.
I mean, there's more stuff we're going to talk about
with
how
what they're
this
doing here,
works
that makes it
practically
fun.
in the game, but essentially with gear optimization, we're revamping a lot of the visualization behind the gear and the numbers and that system. Give you something new to chase, give you new activities to chase that stuff in, stuff like resistance and stuff that will really test your power level. When you push the button and say new world tier, that's cool because sure, everything gets harder and we're going to increase the difficulty in other ways, but I didn't want the reset button. I didn't think Keith didn't want it either.
Yeah, I think, we have a lot of rare gear now, right? And we've set these goals for players, like collect the classified gear as it's coming out, gather your exotics. And a lot of people are still pushing towards that goal, and we have so much more to release, right? There's so many more carrots to put out there. There's a lot more stuff to find, and it's just not the time.
Yep.
Right. So how does it work when I log in the first time? How does it work practically in the game?
Oh, Keith, are you ready?
Yeah, so when you log into 1.8 the first time, you're on your character select screen, you see your gear score. It's not going to say 256 anymore. Yeah, so
No more
the
256.
gear score is now reflective of the quality of the rolls of on all your items. So if you have a really good armor roll and a really high primary stat and majors and minors, your gear score is going to be closer to the cap. So the new gear range for World Tier 5 is 256 is now that's the bottom line. That's what everyone was at. No one's going to go below that unless you start equipping World Tier 4 gear or something. And you can push up to 286. That's the new cap. So running around the world, you'll see players with different gear score, your loadout screen. You might have your
Why later did they not explain how we're going to be doing that, what we have to use to
and now you're working on your
gears.
Alpha Surge build and kind of boosting that gear score up.
Yeah, it's important to note that, again, power levels are essentially the same. We're just granularizing that value so you have a better understanding of just how powerful you are. Right?
Yes.
So it's a huge tool. Even when gear drops in the world, being able to see how good is
I miss
this,
it. Anyone in the stream? I miss it, or did they not say what we have to use or what we have to do to increase
it's
that?
270.
It adds a lot of excitement to every gear drop.
It's got to be
right?
Phoenix
we're so
credits
used
or
to
Dark Zone
seeing,
credits, regular credits.
A gear set, green loot pillar, and it's just well, I already have all that stuff, right? I guess I'm going to sell it. Well, now it's I go up and I look at it, and if that thing drops with a 282 gear score, I'm slotting it in. It's going to be better than what I have. Maybe I reroll one stat, It makes every loot drop a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, it's super, super exciting. It's all kind of wrapped into one. This new visualization, the gear optimization. So, just imagine going to this new optimization station. I'm sure we'll talk about this in a minute,
so it's a new optimization
be
station.
A place in Camp Clinton in the terminal next to the recalibration station. It's going to be an optimization station. You're going to take your gear there, and you're going to watch that number climb every time you go and optimize it. And so you get this physical, this tangible reward and visual identification that you are better, right, than you were before.
Absolutely.
Huge, huge.
And if nothing else, then saying optimization station is kind of the best thing in the division right now.
Yes.
So last week on State of the Game, when we were showing off VSP, we discussed D-Tech, Division Tech, very briefly. So how does, and we kind of hinted that it's going to be important in 1.8. So can you guys kind of tell us how Division Tech plays into gear optimization?
Good thing I shit
yeah,
so
that. People have been collecting Division Tech for a while now, and it's been accruing, and there's not been a great use for it.
Keith, how much detail?
There's been a good use for it. You change your Division Tech and other stuff.
I've seen people posting on Twitter I got 3,000 D-Tech, and I'm like, whoa, that's
not that
even
much,
close to that. But good for
them. I got 500.
But now D-Tech and the default e-credit currency, those are going to be used to at that optimization station. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to start doing some D-Tech runs, it will be useful. And we're going to add a lot more ways to get D-Tech in 1.8. A lot of places around Westside Piers.
Yeah, I think the Dark Zone, again, we'll play with all this stuff, but I think the Dark Zone will be the most lucrative place to get
Oh, for
D-Tech,
sure.
but as we talked about on the
Definitely,
last
it's the
state of
best
the game,
spot. You can just go around and farm all those caches
there'll be
from
other ways
the
to get it as well.
little boxes
But
and open them. You get
D-Tech
like
e-currency,
10
that's the
10 of them
juice
every
that
single
you
time you
need
open
to
one.
optimize your gear.
Yep.
So how much powerful can your gear actually become? Like how does it feel when you have when you have accrued all day and you have you've gone to the optimization station? Can never get enough saying that. Many times you've optimized your gear, you have the build that you really wanted.
What are they
fully
trying to say? The gear
optimized
that I
at the
have right now that's like
optimization station.
all maxed out for like sentries
How
and
powerful
strikers
do
are
you
gonna be
feel?
like straight trash in 1.8. It's gonna be like
Go ahead, Keith. Go
lowest
ahead.
tier.
Well, I mean, so the best way to think about it is, in a way, a lot of our players have played with these builds because when they go into Last Stand, the way normalization works is it boosts everything up to its max, right? You're sitting at like 35% armor. All your primary stats are boosted. So in a way, we're giving you the ability to push to that kind of like perfectly min-maxed build that you've been playing in Last Stand and that you'll have in Skirmish, but use it everywhere in the game. So, you know, this is going to let you
Just imagine the
push further
PvE
in
builds that we can
content
create out of
than
these
you could
now. That's gonna
before.
be insane.
And the
They said you can do it
biggest
weapons
thing
though too, so you
changing
can
is
get like
that, you know, before
you can get
you
god
could
roll
go
weapons
in and
like with a shit
recalibrate,
weapon basically.
your stats and your majors and minors, but you couldn't touch your armor roll, right? Like if there was a very rare piece of gear and you finally get the
Wait,
drop
what?
and you inspect it for the first time and you see it has just a bottom barrel armor roll, that piece is basically trash to you, right? You have to throw
Like
it away.
all 27
now,
of my
you can take it to
exotic
the
vests?
optimization station, invest in this piece, and improve the armor roll all the way up to its
What the
max. So,
fuck?
in terms of really raw power, that chasing that 35% armor is kind of the best thing that you can push for. It makes you feel a lot more
That makes
resilient.
some of the pieces
Yeah,
that are
players
worthless
have-
that I have
essentially
actually might
players
be
have played
decent
with
if
this
I
power
get
trap
the
before,
shit
but
up
you've never
on
been
it.
able to see it or feel it
I like
in
that.
PvE because there was random elements. Now we're taking random out of the equation. You know, I mean, obviously there's still RNG with the drops, but now you can take an active role in making that the best piece of gear because that's the one you wanted, and now you can go get that flawless legendary.
Yeah, you just
run,
have to spend
you know?
a lot,
And yes, that
a lot
means
longer
you
time
can take
like farming
into
that
the
gear
dark
piece
zone.
or like
That's not normalized,
ranking
right?
up that
So
gear piece.
I'm sure we'll have a conversation about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually going to hopefully kind of push people to want to go in the dark zone, right? Because before you come up with someone against someone with that perfect min-max build, and you just haven't had as much luck, that is a tough fight for you, right? Now, if you've invested in your build and you're looking at it and you're like, every roll is as good as I can get it. My gear score is 286, or possibly a little bit higher if you have invested in some classifieds. You can have the confidence to go in and take on the unnormalized PvP.
It's gonna be super awesome.
Yeah.
One thing or one question that I think is quite important though is how do you keep the game balanced when you're introducing this?
Well, from a PvE standpoint, that's a good question, and this is going to touch on philosophies a little bit. There's content right now that a lot of the player base can't finish, they can't do, and so we were very comfortable with giving players more power without increasing the power of the AI at the same time. So I want players to be able to finally finish those legendary missions. I want you to do those incursions
hard anyways.
because you are creeping towards this ultimate god role with gear optimization. So I think the balance is going to be wonderful. Obviously, we've tested it a lot, and I know there's
Basically,
already
they're
people that
setting
can
up
do
for
that
when
stuff
like the
with
division
gear they
dies,
have.
everyone's gonna have like
I would
perfect gear
argue that
stats.
maybe they've had really
perfect
good
gear
luck
stats.
with rolls. It allows them to do
Absolutely.
those things along with player skill. So from a from a PvE standpoint, I'm not concerned, right? We're empowering these people. We're empowering even me because this stuff I can't do, damn it. But we're empowering them. Now from a PvP standpoint,
Yeah, I mean, from PvP standpoint, like I said, you know, we've actually have a ton of testing on this because it's what we've been testing with Last Stand for, you know, the last 6 months or so. So now those Last Stand balance that players have been feeling, there's a chance to experience that also in the Dark Zone now.
All right, awesome. There's actually, I have some paper here, and at the top of my paper, speaking of balance, I'm just going to jump in real quickly because people are asking about it in chat as well. Last week when Yannick was playing, we kind of got a little Easter egg there. What's happening with stamina, guys?
We have detectives apparently that are watching State of the Game because like immediately there was like a breakdown on Reddit of what was happening. But yeah, we are adjusting stamina and toughness for, you know, endgame players. You know, previously it had always been 1 stamina is 30 toughness. 1.6 took that back to 1 to 15. You know, with all the new power and the new DPS that we're letting players have, we feel really comfortable bumping that back up. It's going to once again let players push further in PvE content. It's going to let you push to higher waves in resistance.
So they're changing back from 115 to 130.
It makes the game
1 to 30.
Just overall feel more consistent in the time
1 stam
skills.
equals 30.
Yeah, and of course you're going to say, wait, doesn't that make it spongier, Keith? Not necessarily. You know, some of the classified gear, we're giving you reasons to push into the stamina build. We won't go into details about that, but you know, the increased DPS and things like that, it feels good.
Yeah, it feels great. And this is one we've been playing with for a while, so I can't wait to get it on the PTS.
Yeah.
So let's jump real quickly back into gear optimization, and with the new gear score, or with the gear score being up through optimization, how about new Dark Zone brackets? Is that something?
No, again, the power levels that players are going to be playing with are the same, right? So you'll go up against, right now, if you jump into the Dark Zone, there's potentially someone running with at the level of 286. You just don't know it, right? There's no way to visualize that. So in that sense, it's going to feel the same. Now, I'll be more powerful because I'll be able to optimize my gear. We're essentially telling everyone that you can be that guy who kills everyone in the Dark Zone, you know, or you can feel that. We don't need a new tier for these players because they're already all playing together.
Or because there'd be like
giving you a
50
way to better
people in the highest one when it first comes out. There'd be
all of
literally no
that.
one in the
Now you
new
can just feel your
servers.
character
They'd be
getting
dead.
you know, more powerful.
That's another
with time.
reason.
Yeah, we're taking luck out of it, essentially.
Yep.
All right.
gonna take players
Speaking of the Dark Zone,
a few days or a few weeks to get to
in
that,
the Dark
that
Zone,
new gear score cap or whatever you want
can
to call it
go
anyways.
rogue.
So there'd be no point in making a new one.
We're not going to talk about
You're
that
crazy.
today. But
And I
can we
don't
give a
personally think there's enough people
little
for them to
tiny
be able to do
spoiler what
that.
people can expect during State of the Game next week?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, Rogue 2.0, that's what we're calling it. A whole bunch of changes. I get shaky thinking about it because I love the Dark Zone. But as a teaser, one of the big elements of Rogue 2.0 in the Dark Zone is that friendly fire will now be off in the Dark Zone. There will be no friendly fire in the Dark Zone, which means you have a button press. There is a toggle to go rogue. No more accidental rogue.
Oh.
No more chasing manhunts and then accidentally hitting your buddy and then having the whole
group
turn on
to you because you're the weak prey at that moment.
We'll talk all about what that button press means, how you do it, and all the other changes. There's a lot of them. We'll talk about next week.
That was like the smallest little piece of it.
Yes.
So, but yeah, footage next week.
Spread the word.
Blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys are super
That
excited to
actually
talk
makes
about
me so
that.
happy.
But we'll get back to it. Sorry, Shad. I know some people are going, no, that we're not talking about it this week. I'm so sorry. But we should be back with, talking about Rogue 2.0 and Resistance next week. And
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
and we'll have some gameplay for you as well.
Hey, all
at
right.
that
So
point.
next week we're getting
So
new
thank
gameplay.
you very much, guys, for showing up again. It's been great having you. Thank you for all the information on both Skirmish and gear optimization.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thank you.
Always good to be here.
And I'm gonna mute you again, but thank you again, guys.
Bye.
And
All
I'll
right,
see you
bye.
soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Love you, fam.
All right, a big thanks to Red Storm for coming on and talking about gear optimization and, of course, Skirmish. I'm just going to quickly reiterate what we said at the beginning of State of the Game, if you missed that. Maintenance this morning, fix some backend stuff. The RPM glitch is still not fixed. It needs a client patch, and we're working as hard as we can to get that out to you. The PC patch is probably going to come before the consoles because consoles is always a bit tricky to patch, but we're going to get that to you as soon as we possibly can. Remember also that using the RPM glitch is a bannable offense. We banned a lot of people this week, and we're not afraid to ban more. Also, do remember that that ban is a one strike against your account. Do anything like that in the future, you're gone. You're permanently banned. So remember that and keep that in mind. Don't get banned. Don't use RPM glitch. And we will have more information about, of course, update 1.8 PTS is coming. And then we'll also have some more news about the next global event as soon as we possibly can. that's everything from us here today. We're actually, we're at 28 minutes, so we're going to stop it there. Thank you guys so much for coming. And Yannick and Hamish will be back next week. Oh, those guys are actually waving again. They're muted though, so. But we'll see you guys next week. And thank you very much for coming.
I guess that was pretty good. We got some information about the gear sets. We got information about how to recalibrate basically the new. They didn't say it's a new gear score, but it's fucking essentially basically a new gear score cap. You just have to like grind your own gear sets and like recalibrate them and like upgrade them to get them better. I'm happy about the accidental in the Dark Zone. We've been waiting for that for a while, so yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy this method. This is like literally the first time I've ever done this. It's not gonna necessarily be every Thursday because I don't get every Thursday off, so yeah. I'm gonna let this video process, and then I'm gonna stream either this game or Destiny 2 right after that. So if you guys want to come in and chill, I will be streaming Destiny 2 or Division after this. So thanks for those of you guys that showed up. Hopefully you guys are excited for these changes for 1.8, and I'll see you guys in the stream later.